Hello, beautiful souls. I'm coming at you from this funny angle because my cat has taken over my seat. Let's see, maybe I can fix it a little bit. There we go. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. What's really on my mind and heart today is the recognition of how Neo-Advaita really hardens the heart. It's such a poetic expression, the hardening of the heart. And I sure experienced it. And, it doesn't just harden the heart, it saps life and aliveness. Because what I realized is that Neo-Advaita is spiritual bypass at its worst. Spiritual bypass is when I say you, I mean we, I mean people. When people attempt to use a spiritual teaching to dissociate from the body, from feelings, from thoughts. Now, we all need a little break every now and then. That's why we that's why I and other people, that's why people do distracting behaviors like flip through TikTok or scroll on Facebook, because we all need a break from our thoughts, feelings, and the discomforts of the body. But the problem is Neo-Advaita teaches it as a way of life. It's not sustainable and it's not healthy. And the long-term consequences are you become a zombie. I had someone write me who went very far down the Neo-Advaita rabbit hole. In fact, in my view, he went way further down than I did. And I went down pretty far. But this person wrote me, and so they had this profound awakening to where they were aware that they were the witness, but their personality, their feelings themselves was feeling suicidal. So they were like stuck in this place of like witnessing hell. And that's all they could do. Because they were caught in this mind maze of like, I can't affect the personality because I'm not it. Just like this weird mind maze of like, I am forever at peace and I want to kill myself. Like it was just this crazy situation they were in. And they said that they knew they had friends who were part of the largest Neo-Advaita teacher on the planet, and that this person personally knew 6 or 7 other people who were trapped in the same place. And all their teacher would say is, just keep inquiring, or this is just a phase, or this is part of the process. So that's part of why I'm so passionate about this, is because if you take Neo-Advaita seriously, it's fucking dangerous. And if I thought I took it seriously, but when I met this guy, I'm like, whoa, he took it more seriously than I did. And I took it pretty serious. If you take it pretty seriously, it's very dangerous. If you take it somewhat seriously, I don't know what to say, because I took it pretty seriously. But if you take it somewhat seriously, it will slowly suck the life out of you. Wow, 5 live viewers. Hi, everyone. Thanks for dropping by. If you have questions or comments, feel free to post them. I'll respond to them as best I'm able. And so, Neo-Advaita is very much anti-life. I started off this talk by talking about the hardening of the heart. Because life is about thoughts, feelings, and activities, whereas Neo-Advaita is about dissociation from thoughts, feelings, and activities. In fact, the person who wrote me, who said that they were stuck in this place of like feeling suicidal yet also being the witness, they said that all they would do is just sit on their couch. They would get up to go to the bathroom, they would get up to eat, and then they would sit on their couch. They couldn't work. They were on the verge of getting evicted. Like that's one of the worst. I mean, the worst story, of course, is the suicides. There have been a couple of suicides that we know of, and who knows how many that we haven't heard of in Neo-Advaita circles. But this person pretty much hit the low of, they were just trapped in hell. they were free on a certain level, but they were just utterly trapped in hell. And so in my healing journey of overcoming Neo-Advaita, it's been this whole process of reconnecting to hobbies, to learning to take care of myself, to learn to have conversations. I used to resent all conversations because they were distracting me from meditation. And I'd be in this like expansive, blissful place, and then I would talk to someone and it would like bring me down. So I like didn't want to talk to anybody. And so now that I've studied with a traditional Advaita teacher, I can say that traditional Advaita is the exact opposite. It's about including and making use of our thoughts, feelings, passions, impulses, and actually putting them to service, in the service of the world, and actually engaging in them as part of the enlightenment process. It's profound. It's very subtle, and it's very, very. It's very special. Traditional Advaita is very special. Leslie wrote, narcissistic fake spirituality that kills the soul. They are puppet masters, make everyone as puppets, all stuck in a fog which prevents them from listening to themselves. The authentic voice dies. Leslie could not have said it better. I concur that most of the Neo-Advaita teachers have narcissism. Puppet masters who makes everyone puppets. I've seen it. I became one of those puppets. I didn't go all the way in, but your description is very good. A puppet, like empty. And then, some of the teachers are like hands-on. They control the behavior of the students. I don't think that's the case in the majority, but what does become the driving force is the teaching. It's like all the person can think about all day long is the teaching, and like the teaching drives them, all stuck in a fog which prevents them from listening to themselves. Couldn't have said it better. The authentic voice dies. Marion wrote, have been trying to watch the Purpose Guides Institute Roundtable Talk on YouTube with Rupert Peer, John Perger. So Marion is writing about this roundtable talk that she's been watching with I know two of the three, and it is so stilted. It's a good word for Neo-Advaita, stilted, and puppetry is another good word. It's very lifeless. And see, the thing is it's all up in the head, but a good philosophy can really guide you, right? Can really lead to vigor and focus, and to a certain extent, passion and purpose. But an anti-life philosophy is going to create puppets, and yes, it'd be very stilted. Half an hour in and feeling dead. I think dead is a good word for it. I think dead is a good word for the impact and effect of it. So let's see if there's anything else I want to share. Like, just to be really transparent, like, you can watch my earlier videos and you'll see I was kind of stilted. And, it's interesting because, I started these videos when I hadn't recovered at all. My first video on this topic was me just saying no. And just allowing myself like to have facial expressions, to allow my voice to rise and fall. Like, as I was I was sitting here talking, just for some reason, I just started rubbing my legs. Like, just this process of learning to just be. Because Neo-Advaita, like, it just like ropes you in to where like you're just, Leslie's word is really beautiful, just a puppet. And I don't say these things to be like, I'm this like amazing human being now. I still struggle and but I am reconnecting to that authentic voice that was suppressed and and I was, at a certain point, I started to suppress it. So they say die before you day. Live. They say die before you die. Leslie says, live before you die, I say. Beautiful, beautiful, Leslie. Aw, thanks, Marion. I'm feeling it. It's a journey. I want to, they say there's things like faith is a journey or healing is a journey. And it's a cliche, but it's true. In my experience and Neo-Advaita is so static, like just realize and you get it. And, but, and grieving is a journey. And it's been a process for me. I started this channel, I think my process with this channel started in, I think, 2019. I'll double check that while we're talking. God bless the internet that has, it's kind of like my vlog of my recovery process. And there are days where I'm like, oh, I've got it. I've got it. I'm all good. And that's just not how life works. But what I'm trying to say is, hold on one second. I'm looking this up. I'm multitasking. That's no good, but it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, 2018. Wow. That was my first, oh no, let's see. One moment. 2019 was my first video about Neo-Advaita. So just to everyone out there, I just want to say, it's not a linear process and it's going to have peaks and valleys. And I certainly did and still do. And what I can say is I have 100% turned my back on Neo-Advaita. I have no interest in it. And I am earnestly, and some days more, some days less, learning how to live again. Just like Leslie said, live before you die. Right. Leslie says, that's it. You believe you are good. And so that's the thing, is like, I thought like, oh, I've got it. Hi, Maurice. Like, oh, I've got it all figured out, and it's just, you're just caught. I was just caught in this repeating the teaching to myself and practicing self-inquiry all day. And it really is a fog. That's a good word to say it, Leslie. And yes, you think you're all good. Marion wrote, you can't cut corners in any aspect of this life we have. Well, this is one of the things that the traditional Advaita teacher I studied with said, is like, God's in control. See, Neo-Advaita is kind of this thing of like, you can enlighten yourself and they don't say this, but like, you can escape life. Well, actually, there's this, even in traditional Advaita, there is the notion of God that orchestrates and controls everything, and including our feelings. Can't run from our feelings. God knows I tried. Thanks for saying hi, Maurice. So that's everything I've got for today. Wonderful participation, everybody. And it's understandable. Life is painful. We all want an escape. I think most people want to escape the painful aspects of life. I sure did. And traditional Advaita says there is a way out, but it's much more holistic and much more not running and not dissociating. So thank you so much, everyone, for the beautiful comments. Especially Leslie, I think this is maybe your first time dropping some comments. Marion, as always, your input's appreciated. And welcome, Maurice. I wish everyone a blessed day of living. Take care. Big love.